G'day homies, I'm at the Darwin Nightcliff Pool, one of the most beautiful places in Darwin, I reckon, Sunday. And today we're up to day 5 in the morning routine process. Before we get to that though, at the top of this morning 5-minute journal, it has a little challenge there, weekly challenge. This one says, list 5 things you perceive as weaknesses and then list how those 5 things could be strengths. This is exactly on the video I talked about last week, which is on gratitude. Finding a way to see the things you just automatically assume are weaknesses and to find a way that even if they're just slightly less of a weakness is a change in your brain to see how they could actually be serving you in some way. So I've wrote down another book. I wrote down like I'm an only child. I wrote down I'm selfish. I wrote down I've got money fears and self-worth fears. So you can go searching into these things that can be deep or not, but even just having to think about how could they be good is the start of a powerful movement in your brain. But today, despite all that, we're talking about these things. This is the next chapter, which is what 3 things, what does that? What would make today great? And list 3 things, okay? Now, there's 2 ways you can go about this. One, this can be your chance to be like listing your to-do list. And so you can visualize at the end of the day, what would I need to do? 3 things I need to do to feel like I've had a good day. I feel accomplished and I feel anxious that I haven't done enough. That's one way to think about it, so just a to-do list. But the way I do it is, generally, like I've written down amazing coffee is number 1, which I now have in my hand. So in this, what would make today great? I vividly imagine tasting the coffee, feeling the warmth of my hand. Imagine how it makes me feel before I even get the coffee first thing in the morning. I'm already enjoying the coffee before I even get it in my hand, right? Then I've written out, write out my Darwin goals for while I'm in Darwin, which is 6 months, and goals for April, and then buy some vibrance for my feet. Now, I vividly visualize achieving these things or doing these things, but if you can visualize little things like that, or having a laugh with friends at work, or watching a Netflix video at the end of the day, if those 3 things would make you feel good, you can vividly imagine doing them and feeling how that makes you feel now. What that does is it focuses your brain on the good rather than on the bad. Because normally you wake up and go, fuck, I've got to go to work, or I've got to have that challenging conversation, or I'm lonely, or whatever the things are. But it focuses your mind instead on what are 3 things that will be awesome. And if you can make those 3 things tiny little things, like a coffee in the morning, you can feel blessed straight out of bed. If it's just a coffee, it will make you feel amazing. If you feel actually into what it's going to taste like and stuff, before you even have the coffee, you're enjoying it, right? You can feel amazing because it focuses your brain on the, even if your whole day is going to be absolutely shit, it's the worst time of your life, you could have 3 little points of goodness that you're focusing your brain on, and then the shit stuff all disappears. And in the same way, on that subject, I didn't mention it yesterday, but when I do my dollars part of my gratitude, a good way they explained is you could have $1 million in debt, $100,000 in debt, say, and only $5 in the bank. When you're focusing on gratitude for money, you focus on that $5. Or you focus on the fact that you've got a credit card, that we're so lucky we can just use a credit card if we have no credit. Even that can cause some problems, right? You focus on what you do have rather than what you don't. Because my brain will definitely tend to focus on the negatives. So if you focus on the $5 you do have, focus on that can buy me a coffee or can feed me for the day, or at least, whatever it can get you, rather than all the shit you don't have. That's focusing on the negative rather than the positive, okay? It's focusing your brain on what you want. It makes your morning better. It makes you focus on the good shit for the day, so your brain doesn't automatically go to the negative, and the day looks brighter now because I've said these 3 things. That's it for the day, my friends. Keep it real.